I understand you're off coaching high school football for a time being, and how is that maybe helping you kind of stay prepared?
Yeah, honestly, just doing some X's and O's stuff and kind of getting a perspective from a coaching side. Obviously, implementing, installing stuff that you're kind of a part of as a player, but when you have to do it for other players for the first time in my career, it's definitely given me another perspective and a lot of respect for what our coaches go through. But I purchased a house here in May, and just kind of been a Bob the Builder of sort, just trying to get it all done, and been filling my time with some YouTube videos. I say I got a bachelor's degree in YouTube University because I go on there and I try and learn whatever I can and put it into the house. You know, it's the whole thing has been frustrating, but obviously nobody could prepare for something like this. It's a once in, I think, a generation type of issue that we have. Obviously, as players, you want to hear the commitment of, hey, we're playing football, but if I'm the commissioner of the league, obviously you got a lot more bigger decisions to make. So you can't just commit to something and not knowing what the future holds. So I'm just kind of waiting for the call on my phone and kind of glad I'm not in a situation where I have to make that call. But I know I can speak for all the players. We just want to get back to football, get the product back on the field. And I know a lot of the fans are truly missing it.
Nah, just to echo what Cody's saying, you know, we're in a pandemic and this is unfortunate times for a lot of people. And I know that everybody just wants to play football and get everything rolling and get definite answers because, you know, everybody likes living in the present and knowing that they have stability and they know what's going to happen in their future and everything. So I think that the CFL is working hard. I know that the players union is trying to work hard, and I hope that everybody can come together so something's put together for 2021 season.
I think we're all frustrated because we don't know, and I think we'd all love to have an answer. I think that's players, that's coaches, that's fans, media. I think everybody, we'd all love to have an answer. But you know, that's kind of just every sport across the board right now. Everybody's trying to figure it out, and you know, we definitely fall underneath that umbrella of trying to figure things out because we're such a fan-driven league, and you know, trying to figure out, is there, you know, is what the NFL is doing with having fans there, is it going well enough that at some point that we can open that up and have some fans there, whether it's season ticket holders or more or less, or do we have to bubble in order to make 2021 season happen? Is that a possibility? So I don't think it would be smart to come out and say, hey, you know, we're playing 2021 season and this is how we're doing it because, you know, as you guys are seeing, you know, Toronto and other places shutting back down right now. So it's kind of you know, just a mixed bag of not knowing. And I don't think there's a lot of frustration. I think there's just a lot of, you know, everybody's anxious and wanting to get back. You know, like Cody said, all the players, we want to get back on the field and we know the fans want to see it. So as soon as those guys have the ability to make that decision, I'm sure we'll hear something.
That's football. You know, guys get injured and that's part of the game. And a lot of guys get opportunities through injury. I don't know where I would be without playing the third play of the first game, to be honest with you. And that is just part of football. I came out and there was an article about it. This was probably one of the instances where I think all three players in such a interesting situation all won in the fact where I was able to sign a lucrative contract to be a franchise quarterback. Zach COLLAROS goes off and wins the Grey Cup, and my man SIMONI has a great year playing football. So that's just one of those things, rare occasions where something that could have been so bad actually turned out to be a positive thing, I think, for the league. And some of the top players, SIMONI and Zach, got to continue to play football. And I kind of just echoed that. I don't know where I would be if I just sat as a backup all year and didn't have a chance to play. How many guys are going to take a chance on a 28-year-old short yardage quarterback? I really don't know. I might be out of the league, to tell you the truth. So just getting my first opportunity in 6 years was actually a blessing for me to go out there and play football again.
I'm just glad everybody's okay from it and everybody got what they want. To speak for myself, if the play didn't happen, I probably would have got Defensive Player of the Year.
You know, coming off surgery, the toughest part was only at the very beginning, only allowing one athlete in the training room at a time. So Brad Ayers was healing up, and KJ is rehabbing and just trying to he's a year and a half off surgery, but it was kind of really just not having that hands-on of, there's 4 or 5 trainers in there and everybody can get different work at the same time. And then even when we're working out, you're trying to wipe everything down every time you work out. So I think it's just been a different scenario as far as working out. Like, you don't really get to get in there and kind of have that grind I think you would normally have. Where you just kind of lose yourself and you're worried about, not sweating on that guy next to you because I don't know about Saskatchewan and Hamilton, but the Calgary weight room is about the size of a big closet. So, it's a tight space. So we had to find interesting and smart ways to work out and make it happen. And that's kind of been the toughest part, is just finding the right gym that's, close to your place that you can get in. But again, everything's shutting down again. So trainers can barely even get in there and see you, and you've got the mask on. It's just, it's definitely a weirder time to work out, but nonetheless, everybody's going through it. You've got to get the grind going and get ready.
I think if everything pulls through the way it's supposed to, 2021 Grey Cup in Hamilton will be legendary. It's probably one of the funnest cities, low-key cities that you're going to have fun in, and the fans are nuts. And you got guys like Bo Levi, Cody Fajardo, and all the stars come around the league. They might get attacked by a couple fans and stuff, but it's gonna be a great time. The businesses, a lot of small businesses in Hamilton would love to have it. Just the fans, just everybody in the area. We got a lot of local suburbs outside of Hamilton as well that would all just partake and eat it all up. And it'll probably be one of the best Grey Cups in history. 2021 Grey Cup in Hamilton would be the best in history.
Cody, I gotta ask you. I haven't seen the film of it, right? So I only saw the TV live version. If it doesn't hit the goalpost, is the ball caught, or is it?
It's a tight window, but I definitely thought I put enough on it. I had to rip it to put it in there, but I definitely think Swerve was open. And I truly believe it would have been a bang play. He wasn't like he's going to catch it and everyone's going to know. It's going to be a bang play for sure. But I think when I let it go, I'm like, we just are about to tie this game up.
Yeah, it was one of those, like, we only get to see it from the side, and even as a quarterback, like, sometimes those windows are tight. Sometimes that ball gets in there, sometimes it doesn't. So everybody asks me, like, is that ball complete? Is that ball complete? I'm like, dude, unless I threw the ball, I have no idea.
I'm saying 75% chance it's completed there.
I like it.
But that's being biased.
a little bit.
I know guys sometimes when they say they're hurt, they don't feel like they're part of the team anymore. But I got the impression you stayed very much involved, and just wondering how much a part of it you did feel on that amazing run in the playoffs and Grey Cup.
I mean, I don't know. I know that I showed up, early in the morning every day, still working with the guys and trying to be kind of a player coach and being as involved as possible. And I've been in the league for 11 years, and that was my first experience even getting to just go to a Grey Cup and being able to experience that. And so, I mean, I soaked it all in and celebrated it and had a great time. And, who's to say how much, me being around the back half of the season helped out? I don't know. I know that, I played half the games that year and won some football games to help us get to that point. And so I do feel like, I was definitely a part of it. But obviously not playing out there in the back half of the season just changed my role. And, I fully accepted that. And like I said, had a great time, celebrating and going on that ride with all the guys that, I'd played a lot of football games with. And so I was, just super excited to see, all my teammates get that experience to go out and win a championship. And like I said, I celebrated probably as hard as anyone.
I wanted to jump in there for a second anyways. Matt was huge for me coming in so late and helping me with the offense, obviously with the X and O portion of it, but just, again, accepting me into the locker room, accepting me into the quarterback room. And, Matt was integral for us down the stretch, again, in the meeting rooms, on the field, and just his leadership. You could tell guys still looked to him, even though he couldn't be out there in the field during the stretch run. And, one of my favorite memories from the entire run there was after we won that game in Saskatchewan and coming back in the locker room and the emotion that everybody had, and specifically Matt and the quarterback group, and, chugging Bud Lights with them in the locker room after that was just one of the most vivid memories for me, honestly, after that whole thing, was just the emotion that Matt had and everybody had. But and again, from the quarterback perspective, just, you know, we all know how much time you put into it, and to, you know, to have a, you know, pretty much a bad luck injury like that, take that away and keep you out the field. It's terrible. And we've all been a part of it. But yeah, that Matt was integral for me, integral for the team. And then, and obviously that memory really sticks out. I've never told Matt that, but Matt, that was an awesome moment for me.
It was definitely.
For Zach and Matt, I mean, obviously Chris hasn't gone to play a ton down there in Arizona, but what's it been like for you guys just to see him get that opportunity in the NFL after having such a big role in your Grey Cup run last year?
Yeah, I mean, incredible for me. I mean, he's like a little brother to me, and you know, I think that just true example of you know, working hard and perseverance and getting the right opportunity, and you know, went down and won the backup job in Arizona, and so really cool to see him dress up out there. You know, planning on going to watch a game of his here pretty soon, and you know, I just think that it's really cool to see someone that's that good of a person that just worked super hard and got the break they deserved, and you know, earned every step of it. And it's really cool to just be able to message him on game days and after games, and just kind of talk about their games and stuff. So it's been pretty cool.
It comes with a lot of challenges. There's a lot of great things that, you know, the unfortunate pandemic has brought on, which has been kind of me being able to spend a lot more time with my daughter and with my wife, and being able to have more family time and be there every day for her growing up and doing all these new things. But at the same time, being separated from our family and only being able to communicate and introduce our daughter to, you know, her aunts and uncles and grandparents, Zoom calls and FaceTime videos is very challenging. But, you know, whatever we have to do and can do to make sure we're keeping ourselves safe and everybody else safe, you know, we've been able to adapt and learn that this is the reality of today, and we're just trying to be happy and thrive with what we're able to do.
For me, yeah, it's been tough. It's something that I'm not used to at all. Like, I was talking to my friends, for the last 20 years straight, I played football. And if I wasn't, like, the times I wasn't playing football, it'd be rehabbing from an injury and something football related. So it was just a weird time, but at the same time, it helped you just think about what you're going to do in the future, and maybe start planning on some things that you were working on, some things that you were planning on doing that you just haven't got around to. So I try to use this time as much as I could to be beneficial for my future, and just set myself up for maybe post-football career. But at the same time, it is rough. You know, I just want to be playing football. It was so unexpected. So for me, I just made sure I'm staying in shape, and I was ready to go if we did have a season or whatever would happen. But now I'm just looking and trying to stay optimistic for next season. And I think that everything will work out for next season. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did.
I don't really remember, you know, last time I haven't played football for a whole year. But at the same time, for me specifically, at this point in my career, I don't think I'll forget anything that I've learned over the course. I mean, I'm going into year nine or 10 at this point. So, you know, I don't think that, you know, you lose too much, to be honest with you. I think really this extended offseason, as I like to refer to it, for me has been like more about, you know, really focusing on how my body can heal best. You know, it's you can choose to look at it as a negative, you know, at a negative perception, but also you can look at it as in a positive way. And so really, to me, I've really gotten the most treatment on my body this off season, you know, minus the little restrictions. I'm doing little things that I haven't really done in the off season, body wise speaking. And just like Lamar too, I think that, you know, the challenge that, you know, this year has brought to all professional athletes, specifically us in the CFL, is that, you know, it really, everyone in the world, it forces everyone to be more creative with your time. and find different ways to be, you know, productive. And for myself, like Lamar, and I'm sure Nick will say the same, you know, you start to focus on different things that, you know, go beyond the game. And me, for myself, I've always been an advocate of that. I know on every team that I've been on, I always try to mentor some young guys and try to, you know, encourage them to, you know, as much as you love the game, as much as you're passionate about the game, also think about what else are you passionate about? Because, you know, you guys, you know, everyone in this call really knows that, you know, football is one of those games. It could be, you know, you never know when your last game is going to be, you know, you can't predict that at all. But, you know, preparation for what's to come after is something that you got to start before, you know, your last game. And so, in a way, again, this is positive outlook on this whole situation, is that, you know, it's really a blessing in disguise. For some people, it's hard for them to kind of think about other things, but having this type of pause on your career, you know, forces you really to kind of dig deep, look inside of yourself, reinvent yourself really, and find different things that, you know, you are passionate about. And myself, it's been, you know, I've done a lot of podcasting, interviewing different people, networking. I got involved in business, and of course, the ample time that it's allowed me to spend with my growing family. So it's, you know, I'm looking at it as a positive thing, and enjoying it really.
Yeah, I would say I started watching more NFL than I have since probably high school. You know, like when you're in season, you watch mostly CFL, or you're just in practice all the time and you're watching tape that sometimes you want to get away from football when you're in season. But now, anytime I got an opportunity to watch football, I'm more into it and more engaged. And just, yeah, it just seems like I enjoy watching it more now. But at the same time, I would really prefer to just be in my own meeting room, watching our own plays, things like that. But I'm definitely more engaged in the NFL game again than I have been in previous years.